Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, it's my friend who loves a good code red. It's Frank. How are you today?
Burp, burp.
Red alert. Red
alert.
Yeah,
red alert. That's okay.
So it's fine. Code red is the thing from A Few Good Men where they like...
You can't handle it.
Yeah, so no, let's not do that version.
Let's not do that. That
No.
would be bad.
Red alert, way better.
Yes.
I mean, not way better. I mean, it's not
probably
great.
more
when
lives
you
at
get
risk with a red alert, but yeah, still.
Yeah, given the choice between the two, I'm going to choose red alert. Anyway, Frank, it's good to see you here on Beer with Geeks, where we talk beer, we talk geeks, we talk something related to geeks. But let's start with the beer. What are you drinking?
Well, my friend, October is here, which means so is the Shipyard Pumpkinhead.
I truly almost bought it today. I had the Sam Adams variety pack.
Okay.
In my arms, and then I saw the Shipyard, and I was like, should I just get all the Shipyard instead? And I said, no, I want the variety pack.
Nice.
Like, I want, because I can get the pumpkin, but I can also get the Oktoberfest, Sam Oktoberfest, what I'm drinking. I can also get the Flannel Fest. I can get,
oh, sure, yeah.
Stuff, which I did have all of them, but then we had some people over for a fire pit. My wife and I have been doing we've been doing fireside chats. So
nice.
People come over after dinner. Here's a piece of dessert. Here's a beer or some wine or whatever. And here's a fire pit. Hey, let's hang out for a little while.
I love this. Is this on like weeknights?
Anytime, anybody's free.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like you can get a babysitter Wednesday. Wednesday, you're in. No problem. Like Friday, your time, no problem. Come on Friday. So
that's great.
Yeah, if you live closer, I mean, you are welcome anytime. You know that, but if you live closer, you are welcome anytime.
Yeah, if but it were, yeah, that sounds amazing. I love that.
My beer collection has dwindled significantly.
I would imagine, yeah, sure.
So for a fire pit, so I had to get it anyway. I had to get a new one today, so it amounted to those two. But I'm glad you're drinking the Shipyard because I was so close, and it's the best.
Funny, I very nearly got the Sam Adams, not the variety pack, but is there Sam just pumpkin? I can't remember what.
Yeah, there's a
pumpkin ale.
Yeah,
the Jacko pumpkin ale. I almost got a 6-pack of that, but then I saw Shipyard and changed my mind at the last second. So funny how that works.
Here we are, two sides of the same coin, baby.
Look at that. At that. And on one side of the coin, you see the bald head of Jean-Luc Picard.
Wait, can you actually see him?
I wish.
I have a Jean-Luc.
Do you see Jean-Luc Picard in the room with us right now?
Yeah, like you can though.
Really, where is he?
I have a stuffed Jean-Luc. Hold on, I'll be right back.
I may have known this. I may know.
I'm gonna get him.
Oh, yeah, go get him. I wanna see him. For those who are watching on YouTube, this will be a special treat. Here he comes. Here comes Tim with Captain Picard, and he's got a friend with him. Let's see what he got.
Stuffed Jean-Luc Picard. Isn't he a cutie?
Yeah. Was this a recent acquisition?
Oh no, I've had him for years.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
okay.
I think even before I started watching Next Generation from start to finish, or Star Trek chronologically, I should say, because I also have a Mr. Spock.
That's right.
And a Captain Kirk.
And a Kirk. Nice.
Yeah. The three non-amigos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, two amigos and a Picard.
And a Picard.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I guess Picard and Spock are friends. Like, that's the thing.
I suppose.
Yeah. But Frank, we're talking about this because I've talked about it on the show before, but I have taken it upon myself to move Star Trek from a B tier to an A tier fandom for me, or maybe an S tier. I don't know. That's tough. S tiers are reserved for things that I've known about since I was like 3 years old. So
sure,
right, or mostly.
Yeah.
But so after years of watching, last night I finished Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Woo-hoo!
Boom! I did it. Don't count the movies. If we're counting the movies in this, then I technically did not finish it yet.
Sure.
So I have seen all of them. So
you've seen them already. Yeah. You're filling in gaps here.
Correct. But I am going in chronological order. So I finished season 2 of DS9 and then wrapped it up with the last episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And man, what a journey, Frank. I can't believe I did it. 7 seasons.
Yeah.
So many episodes.
Oh, man.
So many episodes. It's like 22 or 26 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remind me, when did you start? When did you get to the beginning of Next Generation?
Oh, I don't even know. It was years ago.
It has to. I was going to say,
it's literally been years. I've been watching the show.
At least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I would say post-COVID. Because I think it was. Know what it was? Okay, when was the 3rd season of Picard?
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
2022 or 2023.
Okay, so whenever that wrapped, that's what made me go back and start Next Generation.
Yep.
From the very beginning.
I'm gonna use my one look up on that because I am curious. Yeah, because I remember that I already lived in this house and that I think my daughter was very, very little when you started that. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember talking about that on the podcast, and I remember where I was essentially when we talked about it. So, yeah, that's what I'm remembering.
Yep. Okay. So let's say that it's been 2 to 3 years then of.
It ran in 2023.
Okay. So yeah. So and it's almost 26.
Right.
Like really. So it's been like 2.5 years, let's say, of watching this. 2.25 years of watching it. And some people might say that's not like it took you 2.5 years to watch 7 seasons of a show. But 1, shut up. 2, when I'm watching simultaneously with DS9, with Deep Space Nine. So like you do like 2 Next Gen and then now it's 3 DS9 because that's the chronological order. And basically I only watch 1 a week, like maybe 1.5. So I'm like 1.5. So it's like 1 episode of Next Gen and then a half an episode of DS9. That's all I have time for. And then like next Sunday or whatever, we're starting over. Here we go. We're like
exactly.
So it's taken a long time.
We're talking. This man watched 7 years of television at warp speed.
Okay? Yeah. 7 years of TV in 2.5 years. That's like warp 2.
Yeah,
maybe
something
3.
Like that.
Yeah. Not up to warp 13 or whatever nonsense they
not
had.
Not quite, but
all the way up in the last episode. But
we haven't even made first contact yet, so I still give you credit.
So you're right, because Generations is technically the next one that to like keep going. That would be my next one. But I've got to do a significant amount of DS9 and even a little bit of Voyager before I get to the movies. So in finishing the show, I felt kind of weird because I know it's not the last I'll see of them, even though it like the finale is designed to be like, this is the last time you will see them. And so, but I know as an adult that this is not I'm going to see you in 4 movies, 2 good ones, 2 not so good ones.
Not to mention the aforementioned Picard season 3 that
and
kicked
then,
this whole thing
and
off.
then Picard season 3, I'm just going to skip seasons 1 and 2 and just skip right back to season 3.
Honestly,
maybe I'll watch some of the John Delancey stuff in season 2 and then just move on to 3.
Yeah, boogie on over to 3.
Right, and that will be what is really caps it for me.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the end. But man, I've said before that Next Generation is like my favorite Trek, even though I hadn't really watched it from 1 to, like I haven't seen every episode of the original series either, and or whatever. But you kind of know which one is your general favorite when you have a smattering in all of them. And Next Generation has been, and I think will be, my favorite. I just, some of it does not age well, but so much of it remarkably did. That's what I found the best thing about it.
Do you find that show, I feel like, is maybe the last one for a while anyway that still had that sort of Roddenberry spark?
Oh yeah.
Right? Because I don't think, well, you haven't started Voyager yet, right? But I don't feel like that show really had that same spark. Do you feel like DS9 does?
Sometimes,
yeah,
but not the same. There's a real, well, what would you say is the Roddenberry spark? This is, I think, an important question.
That's fair. It is. I think of the very like sort of secular humanist idealism, the almost Art Deco, but not in aesthetic, in futurism and in hopefulness.
Yep. Yes.
That sort of mid-century optimism.
We're going to the moon. That kind of.
Well, yes, but that we'll obfuscate money away and we'll build this better society that is just idealistic in the future, and technology will solve all our problems and all our health will be solved with a little injection thing or whatever, like all those things together.
Yeah.
And the very philosophical bent to all of it.
That's the thing. I think that Star Trek over the years has become much more interested in the action of space. Like in a lot of ways, Star Trek has been influenced by Star Wars or other star franchises, Stargate, I guess, or just other science fiction, where it kind of was the leading science fiction, and so much of Star Trek is just a wry smile and a philosophy lesson.
Yeah.
And I haven't finished DS9. I've got 2 seasons of DS9 under me. I haven't started Voyager yet, but so far DS9 is not that. It's like sometimes it's actually, some of it is still quite interested in philosophy and humanism and like equality and all these things, but maybe not in the way that Next Generation was a clear continuation of that theme.
Yeah.
From DS9 as the show has gone on, it has more of a closer focus to tyranny, war. Like it's like really focused on those themes, and it's like not moving as the show goes on. It's actually leaning harder into them than away from them.
Interesting.
But Next Generation was like a flavor of the week. Like, what kind of thing? What does it mean to be human in this scenario or in this scenario?
Right. In this context. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I know that Roddenberry was not on the show the whole time. And you could, there's in some ways a stark difference from the show when he was on it and when he wasn't on it. And like that first season, even the first 2 seasons, it's like really held back.
Yeah.
It feels almost antiquated.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's like what they're saying that isn't always, well, sometimes actually what they're saying is pretty antiquated. Even the ideas are pretty there's a big difference between the late 80s and the early or in the mid 90s by the time the show is done. Yeah.
Boy, is there. Yeah.
Yeah. Even what they're talking about and the way that they're like not weirdly racist anymore.
Yes.
About some things. Yeah.
Or at least a lot less.
A lot less. Yeah. There's real earnest attempts for the 90s.
Sure.
And a lot of successes. I think. So yeah, it definitely has the Roddenberry spark that like other Star Trek that I've counted, like even the new Star Treks don't really have it the same way. Like I like Strange New Worlds a lot.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like it's not even close to Roddenberry.
No, not quite. It's one of the closer, I'll say, but I agree. It's still not. It still has a modern sensibility to it, right? Which is what they're trying to do. But the reason the show is The Next Generation is because it is like let's do that same concept we had in the late 60s. Let's do it again, but for another generation. Like let's do it now, 20 years later when it started. I feel like that's very much why that at least at the very beginning had that same template to it.
You know, it's funny because like some things weirdly feel so late 80s. So like Deanna Troi is a great example of this, where she is the ship psychologist, right? You know, and that is like that's not a thing that was happening in the 60s, but in the 80s, the psychology boom of the 80s, right, where it's like you can see a therapist,
right?
So, you know, and so for Roddenberry to take that even further and be like, there are 3 chairs on the bridge, not the captain's chair, and you know, and it's the first officer, it's the captain, and it's the ship's counselor. Like the counselor's the 3rd chair. That's a huge step forward that I don't even think he saw how natural that is now. Like that seems so. Yeah, of course. Like yes, of course there would be a therapist for everybody there, and that would be offered in part of your general healthcare package. And you know, like that's that is where the show doesn't feel dated. It actually is. Like, that's where it was definitely ahead of its time.
And then she's also almost kind of like the ship chaplain in a way at the same time, you know?
Very
like
much
she
so.
sort of serves that role too, which is very much sort of, very consistent with his worldview and everything. It's so interesting. And that the elevation to the level of like, having a chair on the bridge and you're like involved in all major decisions the captain makes, essentially.
Yeah. And then it's like, but you have that, and then at the same time, you have just wall-to-wall carpeting. You know, just like
I know.
So funny.
I know. It's wall-to-wall carpeting, fluorescent lights.
Right. But it's the coziest enterprise out of all of them. Like you look at all the starships and you're like, that doesn't seem like a really pleasant place to spend all your time. A lot is very cold and distant, even though it like is trying to be cheery. There's still this idea like you're still in space.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of rounded corners and curves and carpet, and even the fluorescent lighting is more yellow than white.
That's true.
And it's like, and so it just does feel like there's like wood paneling in a bit, like on the bridge controls and stuff like. And so I kind of like it in its own way, but like it does feel dated. Even when you're like, that is the 80s. That is wild. Like, it's almost amazing there aren't like little ashtrays. Like,
I know, right?
Just all like still smoking, like, or having a good time.
Gosh.
That's kind of what it feels like sometimes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Okay. Tell me this. What character in your rewatch, what character sort of made the most okay, Spock was sort of supposed to be the interesting sort of different alien POV character, right, in the original series, and you've got obviously Data is sort of that for this series. But setting Data aside, what other characters really sort of like stood out to you this watch this time around? Like, what other main characters from we talk about how Ortega's is sort of become a favorite of ours on Strange New Worlds. What's one that this time around sort of like, ooh, I didn't realize how much I was going to like blank character?
It's Worf. Like, it's truthfully, I couldn't tell you one thing about Worf from like the movies that I watched when I was a kid, whatever. It just didn't register. He didn't really register with me, but he took a nothing part, like like Worf is in some ways flat out dumb, like in the early episodes in the early season, and he turned him into this truly like honorable character of growth in a way that you actually don't see growth in this style of television, like at all. Like, it's not designed for that. Like, they come in and they do their job, and you're supposed to be able to watch them basically in any order in any season, and you're not really supposed to be able to tell the difference between them. That's not the point. The character arcs are really not a thing for Star Trek at this time, but Worf had one. It was actually really, really incredible to watch. They gave him the most meat, I think, outside of Data and Picard. Those are I would say the three. They really, like, I would say not the three main characters necessarily, but they were the ones that had the most growth throughout the series,
without
hands
doubt.
down.
Without a doubt.
Picard is like a stiff neck, like almost nearly unlikable in the first, which is a nice contrast to Kirk, who is like insanely likable, right?
Yes,
and so it's like
just oozes charisma,
right. And so it's a nice contrast, but to watch Patrick Stewart's Picard like really like lighten up by the end of those 7 seasons. So I think it's only supposed to be 3 years between the 7 seasons. But look at that bridge. Look at that wood. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's the chairs really that really make it.
True. They do.
Me. But you know what? It looked modern then because that's what computers looked like.
Correct.
Right? That's the future. Like that kind of beigey plastic casing. Like that was computers. I think like the 2009 Star Trek looked like an Apple store because everything was that white hard plastic.
1,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
This is what computers look like, and we turned it into the future version.
60s computers were just going to be little flashing lights, right? Like
right, and lots of reels and
lots of tape reels. Yeah.
So it makes sense that this is the next stage of that, and now we're in a
generation of it, if you will.
Very good. It's funny to watch them all type on what is clearly just glass.
Yes. iPads.
Right. Yeah. With the boop, 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 boop. What they didn't see was haptic. That's really what they did. Like, none of that.
That's right.
No little vibrations. Like just the sounds. But actually my computer mat is the computer
pad.
The computer pad is like L cars or whatever it is.
Yeah, L cars. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's every so often I'm just like sitting here and I'm just like beep. Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, I always loved the sliders.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But anyway, but if you take out Data, because Data would be my first go-to to answer that.
Yeah, that's
but
Data's like really the correct answer to that. But yeah, taking him out, like I think Worf's an excellent answer.
I think Worf, because it was accidental, like one of those like what if we did this, and what if we showed this, and what if we did this, and that's really where it shined. Yeah, I'd say that Beverly and Deanna are the ones that get shafted the most. Like so many of their episodes are like, I fell in love with you, and it's a slightly abusive relationship, and I'm using you, and like women are objects, and it's like
female characters really did not get the best.
That's what most of those episodes were, and it's like they're very cringy. Like, and I mean the purpose of a lot of them is to be like, this behavior from this antagonist is not good, is not correct for it, but it's like they're proving the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, yeah, it's like that's the only story you can tell about these characters. That's not.
It wasn't, and they didn't always have just those stories, but I felt like that was always the main focus. Trying to think of trying to think of other things. Deanna's mom. I can't remember the actress's name. Roddenberry's wife.
Majel.
Yes, she.
Majel Barrett Roddenberry.
Mrs. Troy. Yeah, the best. Like every time she showed up, Ambassador Troy, she was the best.
Nice.
I love her so much.
What about Geordie?
So Geordie doesn't get tons of time in the spotlight, which I found quite interesting as the show went on. Maybe that's because LeVar Burton was doing all these other things at the same time.
Sure.
And so but I like Geordie a lot. Actually, my wife's favorite character is Geordie, which is, but I think it's because she also loved reading Rainbow. So it's like, you're my favorite because you're LeVar Burton and you're the best.
Yes.
Read me a story.
I did just recently learn that he also directed the beloved Disney Channel original movie Smart House.
He did not stop that. What?
Yep.
I was just thinking about Smart House.
We just watched it a couple of weeks ago, and LeVar Burton directed that puppy, and I'd never seen it before, so that was fun. That's a whole other. We could have a whole conversation about that. I had never seen it before, so that was
You
fun.
should read Ray Bradbury's The Veldt after watching Smart House.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it is the in some ways realistic and actually very timely story of that thing today.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I will send it to you. I have a PDF of it. I'll send it your way. Yeah, I'm sure it's online too, but I use it in class, and
nice.
It's Smart House, which is wild.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And LeVar Burton definitely would have known that. Like, as the director, he would have read that script and went, "Oh, it's the Veldt."
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that book is on a shelf in the movie somewhere. Like, just hearing you say that, it wouldn't surprise me to know that. That's cool. That's very, very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
look at this season.
Fun fact about
look at that. Babies, all of them.
I know, right? Will Wheaton, baby Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. I didn't even recognize that it was Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I, as a person who watched 7 seasons, and Will Wheaton was, cast off pretty early. People did not like Wesley Crusher. I loved Wesley Crusher. I don't know if that was my next question. I don't know if that's because I liked Will Wheaton or not, but I don't think it was it. I actually legitimately enjoyed the, I'm a really smart kid on the bridge. It was just an angle that I appreciated. Yeah, I thought in some ways, forcing Picard to become a father figure was it was good growth for him as a person who even seasons later is like, why do we have Picard Day?
Right.
Kids, I love you. It's good for you, Jean-Luc. Get over there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I just I'm glad that his story kind of wrapped all the way from season 1 really early on. The Travelers right there, they're like, you have a special destiny. 7 seasons later, your special destiny is finally here.
We found it.
Yeah, so I'm glad that finally made its way there.
Yeah.
And they got Tasha Rowe back for they got Tasha back for the final episode, which I also appreciated,
which was nice. Yeah.
Although they talk about the episode where she dies she dies like a chump, but I liked that episode. It's not. If I had to line up the best 10 episodes of the show, it ain't that.
Sure. Yeah, no, but
I kind of liked it because it felt so much like the original series.
True.
It clearly was just a backdrop with some lights and the weird, it just felt
absolutely was. Yes.
So old, and I kind of loved it.
It's a classic, right?
Yeah. The only thing I really noticed that Will Riker had a not inconsistent characterization, but when I was thinking this is kind of the person that each character is and what they're like, and I had a hard time pinning him down. Is he he's kind of serious, but also aloof and also fun, and also I guess people can always be those things, but I had a really hard time.
It kind of changed, right? It did. It kind of changed over time.
He's supposed to kind of be Kirk. Like he's supposed to be that, like, I'm the guy that flirts with the women and the whatever. But you can't.
Yeah, he's a little more roguish, and but you're right. He does. It's almost like it took a little time to find his footing, like what his character was going to be. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, I just that's a very brief conversation to say that I loved it. I just gonna wear my Star Trek hat over my headband like that. But yeah, it's just I finished, and if there were not 4 movies and season 3 of Picard to go back to, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna do this again. But I can't. I gotta watch Voyager. Yeah, there it is, the sludge monster.
Yep.
Tar monster. It was just a cool effect. Like, that's in camera. Like, that's more like
it is not. Is it really?
Yeah, that's in camera. It looks great. Yeah, it's too early in the show for anything to be digital, because you could tell, like, when they're like, we're going digital, we're doing it, everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just they were not doing that in 1988.
Yeah, I suppose not. Oh yeah, okay, there I can tell it is.
Yeah, it's a guy in a suit. Yeah,
yep,
but
sure is.
But it's cool.
Love it.
I loved it. Yeah, it's just I miss it already, which is a good sign of.
It is a good sign. Yeah,
I think I'm going to miss more than anything. I'm going to miss the ambient noise of the Enterprise. That's like truly.
Yeah,
that's what's missing from all these other Star Trek shows. Like, although DS9 has it, there is this ambient.
Yeah,
like sound going, but like this, right? Yeah, the new ones don't have it, and there's something really cozy about just hearing the ship in every scene, and
it's really comforting.
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah,
I miss it all.
Yeah. No, I get that. Well, I'm sure I know for a fact that there are people on YouTube with 10-hour loops of that sound. So, you could just put that on and have that be the soundtrack.
Oh, I will.
To your other shows, soundtrack to your day. Honestly, the soundtrack to your life.
It's not really like a grab your attention kind of sound, but
that's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. Frank, where can the people find us?
beerwithgeeks.com, all the apps, all the podcast apps. Rate and review us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You can find the video there. And patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio if you want to help us continue to make the show. Those are the things.
Good stuff. Well, Frank, until next time.
Cheers.